This is Misty with Cancerian Chronicles, and we are on day 25 of our Level Up Your Life series. And we're going to go ahead and jump in. Before pressing record, I was guided to a particular number, which is 44, which the actual significance that I was guided to is integrity as a foundation. And when I looked up the definition of integrity, the particular definition that I was guided to was about the state of being whole, the state of being undivided. So we're going to see how that plays into everything. Also, with foundation, I was guided to the action of establishing an institution or organization on a permanent basis. And again, we're going to see how all of this like interconnects. It feels like there's something about for this level up, you making sure that just all of your parts are together. So just rather than, working in parts, like this is about creating something as a whole or coming together as a whole, rather than just like these divided parts. And it really sounds like this has something to do with, a partnership. So it could be a partnership as it relates to like a relationship. It could be, work, business, whatever. But this is about creating something, and it's involving another person, but making sure that you're coming like all in. I'm hearing something about being all in when it comes to that. Okay, so I've already been guided to which card decks we're going to use. I have 4, and let me go ahead so that we can get started. Hi, Jim. How are you? Okay. I'm going to put this on so that I can see. Okay. Okay, so I was guided to just these little cards here. So we're going to see what we have that comes out with this one. So for some of you guys, if you're still kind of struggling with, I don't know, healing something, it feels like this is the time that you're meant to, heal whatever that is, whatever it is that you're dealing with. And it says, stick with the people who pull the magic out of you, not the madness. Oh my goodness. And we've talked about things like this, people that kind of trigger you, people that try to, or even if they're not trying, but these are people that kind of get you out of your element. Like those are not your people. You're meant to surround yourself with people that are trying to, help you to be a better person, not with some type of weird agenda because, it's of some benefit to them, but it's just kind of like being with like-minded people. And I'm going to see what it says on the back. It says, notice how you feel when you're with a person. If you like that ish, don't hang, let me see. If you feel like ish, like if you feel like crap, right? Don't hang out with them. It's that straightforward, for reals. They don't have to be bad people for you to choose to not engage. It may just be your reaction to them. Even if you can't remove yourself from their presence completely, you can at least check in with the part of you that gets crazy and give it the love it needs. So, that's interesting. We talked a little bit about this in the last live that we did, but this is really like whatever it is that needs to be healed. It's kind of like, please make sure that you're actually working on that, not skirting around the issue, so that it decreases another person's ability to, kind of, get in your head, so to speak, like so that you're not giving away your power to another person, like making sure that you can kind of maintain your composure. Yeah. This one, I looked and it says, grab your own butt, love yourself. So it's kind of like not relying on other people to just do the right thing for you or do the thing that's in your best interest. Like, no matter what anyone else's agenda is, you have to know how to advocate for yourself, how to take up for yourself, how to love on yourself, like, no matter what. Okay. No matter what other people say or do or think or feel, like, all of that is irrelevant. How do you feel about yourself? That is what is important. Let me see if I need anything else from this. No. Okay. So we're going to move on to the next one to see what else we have with this. Our messages for our Level Up Your Life. So basically, you guys, so far what we're saying is, like, make sure that you're hanging around with your people. This is not about people that, like, you just have a history of, like, oh, this is my family, so I'm going to stick it through, like, no matter how they treat me. No, this is not like, oh, this was my best friend since I was like one, and they treat me like crap, but I'm going to stick it through, out of some, sense of loyalty. Well, if that other person were actually truly loyal to you and looking out for you and your best interest, they would not do things that are unhealthy for you to get you to feel like unhinged, is what I'm hearing. Yeah. So I'm being guided to share, like, everyone has heard the saying, blood is thicker than water, right? But some of you guys may already be aware that the actual saying is the blood of the oath is thicker than the water of the womb. So when you just say blood is thicker than water, that sounds like, you are supposed to just ride or die for, family members that are like of your blood. But the actual saying, the way that it's written, right? Is about, bonds that you form with people, the loyalties that you create, not by blood, but by your word, right? By your word, by your actions. So people don't get a free pass just because you share blood with them. Yeah. We have the King of Roses right here. And this really, it's making me think of just like being in control in delicate situations, especially with these flowers here. And with the flowers being like, I'm looking at this yellow, and it just, all of this yellow, and it just makes me feel like being confident in, your reaction and your ability to not react, right? Your ability to respond but not react. So always staying with that King of Roses, that makes me think of like the King of Cups. Cups, we know, is about emotions and love and things like that. And when I think of a king, I think of someone that is in control. So it feels like with this particular card, this is, him being in control, and he's holding these delicate flowers. So he's in control of delicate, in this, like delicate situation, right? Okay, yeah. And at the bottom, we have the winged messengers, right? And this is the Two of Roses. And we have the Oracle of Delphi. It almost seems like, I'm hearing don't shoot the messenger, right? So just keeping in mind also that sometimes when we're triggered, or people that trigger us, in that initial card, it said, like, sometimes it's not that they're doing anything. That's just, how we react to them. But really, it's focusing more on what is the message that is triggering you, so that you know what it is that you're needing to heal, right? So I'm thinking about people like when you're in a relationship, and I don't know, someone breaks up with you, and I don't even know if I can speak on this because I've never really had that happen to me. But like, someone breaks a relationship off with you, right? And if you feel like up in your feels about it, like if you feel, upset, triggered, sad, depressed, or something like that, rather than just, kind of accepting the fact that, everyone has their free will, and some things don't work out, some things will and some things won't. You guys, I'm getting something on my right ear. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and move on to the next one. Okay. Okay, messages for Cancer. What do we need to know to level up? Hi, Cecil. How are you? Homer, how are you? Okay, so we have two worlds here with the Two of Scrolls, right? I'm really focused more on like what's outside of that window. I don't know if you guys can see that. It looks kind of weird to me. And again, we have all of these flowers that are blooming, right? These are all these flowers in the background that are blooming, but she's kind of holed up or, just in this kind of dark and dreary home, so to speak. And when I see like the two worlds, it makes me think about, like being at a crossroads or like being in that in between stage or that in between phase. And I'm kind of getting the feeling that, like, you guys, when you are sticking it through with people that are not your people, right? They don't make you better. They actually trigger you in some of the not so great ways. These are people that are keeping you more in that darkness when you're really meant to be outside frolicking, right? With those flowers in full bloom, so to speak. Yeah. At the bottom, we have in crescent moon. And I'm really just feeling like this is something that is like, whether you know it or not, it's like draining your life force, it's draining your energy. Whereas if you just let them go, you're going to be in a lot more balance and in alignment the way that you should be. But you have to let whatever that is go. And we have the Buddha prepares. Some of you guys are meant to be preparing yourself for like a new, like this level up, or for your new stage or new phase. You're meant to be preparing yourself at this moment. So, making sure that you're putting yourself out there. Like, if you know that having a good social life, a booming social life is something that's very important for you, that's not an excuse to keep the social circle that you have. That's not like, maybe if it's like not in your best interest. Take this as a time, like while you're in between these two worlds, to start seeking out, new friends, right? That are more in alignment with where it is that you're trying to go. Hi, Chuck. Oh, awesome. And we have, oh, you saw that on the two worlds, right? With her little sewing, that little wheel. Yes. Any messages? I feel guided to say, like, someone needs to think about this shift towards like maybe a different type of friend group, or social circle. Like, don't think about what it is that you're losing. Someone needs to think about what it is that you are about to gain by meeting new people, right? Thank you, Chuck. We have spring and autumn. It's almost like if you've been working really hard to heal your inner child, to just kind of work on your own self-improvement, like, this is the time where you're about to see, the fruits of your labor. You're about to see all of the benefit that comes with you making sure that you are taking care of yourself, that you're taking care of your needs. It's almost like, I don't know why I'm thinking of this, but it's like, it's kind of like you work hard to improve your body, right? You lose all of this weight, or you get fit, or, whatever it is that you do. Like, what good is it if you're still going to just keep wearing the same old clothes? The same clothes that are now, you've out, like, they are 2 to 3 sizes too big, they don't fit. Like, when you make improvements to yourself, when you grow, you are meant to also make sure that your environment around you is growing as well. And the thing of it is you can't force other people to grow with you. Everyone has free will. Everyone gets to decide if they want to. I'm here, meet me at the crossroads. And I'm thinking of crossroads as like making this decision, right? To give birth to the new. Everyone has that ability. Okay. We're going to see if we get one more from this deck, and then we're going to move on to the next one. Oh, geez. Yeah, what did I say? When like everyone gets to decide when it comes to moving forward or giving birth to like a new phase or new stage, we have birth right here. You get to decide what path you choose, and so do they, and they don't have to follow the same path as you. But you also want to make sure that you're not sabotaging your own your own path or your own life by staying stuck or staying still with people that they choose not to grow. I mean, you're more than welcome to, but it's not really in your best interest. What did you do all that work for? Okay. Oh, geez. Yeah, we have indecision. So it's almost like someone, and we have at the bottom rest. It's almost like someone is stuck at a standstill because they can't decide, or it's like someone is not standing firm or standing true to letting go of things that do not serve them. Someone is still kind of wavering back and forth. I'm hearing to and fro. I'm seeing someone pacing, right? Yeah, we have resilience at the top. I don't know if someone is just unsure if they're headed in the right direction, if they're on the right path, if they're making the right decision. And if you are moving forward, the answer is yes, you are on the right path. You are making the right decision. If what you do leads to you feeling better about yourself and doing better, having improvements in your life, that's what you're meant to do. That's exactly what you're meant to do. Wow. Ooh, these cards are wow. Yeah, and here we have wealth. Master of Gems, and we have wealth. At the bottom is the card defeat. Let's see. And at the top, we have action. I don't know if like whatever this decision is, like someone is avoiding, or someone is not sure if they want to take these steps because you feel like maybe someone feels like they're not going to reach their goals, they're not going to be victorious with whatever this is. But what you don't see is like you're being guided to take those actions to move forward the way that you're meant to, right? You're being guided to just move forward. And when you move forward, this is the result. This is the result right here. Okay. And you guys, for anyone that's kind of new to my channel, my whole thing is about focusing on yourself. Anything that you are asking me, if it's not in your benefit, if it's not about you directly, like make sure that you just kind of keep that to yourself, because we're here about growth. We're about making improvements, and this is about self, right? Anyone that's like, if you're asking silly questions or you're coming in with foolishness, that really is about you are distracting yourself from your own progress. Oh, geez. Yeah, we have practicality, which is what came out. I'm almost getting the sense of like someone needing to again, it's like put pen to paper, right? But it's kind of like weighing out pros and cons of a certain situation. Like someone may be telling themselves like a story about why they need to hold on to something, but you really don't. You don't need to you don't need to hold if it's not giving you results. If you're working on something and it's not giving you any results, and don't mistake it, like if you're making slow and steady gains in some area, no matter what it is, then that means that you're on the right path, right? Because you're moving forward, you're headed in the right direction. But if you're continuously being kind of like, you feel like you're continuously being, with those, 10 steps back, if that's like the continuous cycle, then there might be a message that you're not meant to do that actual thing, or you're meant to do it in a different way, right? Yeah, we have transition at the bottom, which is, this is about making some type of change. And at the top is surrender. Sometimes you have to just be kind of open to the possibility of, making pivots, making changes. I'm hearing something about a sharp turn, right? Yeah, under two worlds, we have ascension, and under that is anxiety. Some of you guys are meant to grow, right? You're meant to ascend, you're meant to transform in some form or fashion. And it's like when you're stuck in this two worlds, or this place of like being in between, right? Like there's some anxiety that, or some type of worries that is keeping someone stuck, or keeping someone from making the decision that they need to make, right? Okay, let's see. Okay, we're gonna look at this birth. Okay, and you guys make sure that you hit the thumbs up. Also subscribe to the channel. We have a goal of 500 subscribers. Once we get to 500, I'm giving away 6 free readings. So, but that's once we get to 500. We're almost at 400, so we don't have too much further to go. So yeah. So we have Wheel of Fortune, which is cycles. And again, this is here where it's like someone, when I think of cycles, like if you are having to deal with like some type of repeated cycle, there's some lesson that you're meant to learn. There might be possibly something that you continue to do. So, like, let's say, for example, this has something to do with a relationship. If you are repeatedly feeling like you're getting your heart broken, right? You have to kind of look at the patterns, not of the other person, because sometimes we're quick to point fingers and say what the other person did wrong, and how the other person could have done better. But what is it that you could have done different? Is it that you're seeing red flags and you're ignoring them, right? That you're proceeding or moving forward in a relationship anyway, even though like your intuition is telling you that this is not your person? Are you not setting, establishing clear boundaries, right? Where you're becoming more enmeshed in a relationship. And so when that person's not around, you're feeling like you're unloved, or, something. And then that starts leading to some type of self-sabotaging behaviors. If this has to do with work, and, I don't know, you repeatedly get fired or something like that. Do you have a pattern of, one example that I'm thinking of is maybe you're like the mouthpiece. Like maybe you feel like you're the justice, you're the one who brings in justice. And every time something is not going right, people will rely on you to speak up for the crowd, but then you get fired and other people don't speak up at all. If you did that in one job and you got fired, and then you did it in another job and got fired, and then did it in another job and got fired, then perhaps you're meant to allow people to work out their own problems if they don't actually pertain to you, right? Because that's essentially like you allowing other people to use you for their benefit, and then the person that ends up being eclipsed out is you in the end. So that's a behavior that you would be needing to change, right? Hi, Anika. How are you? I'm thinking about, when it comes to money, like if you are someone who, like, you're struggling with your finances, like it's like I'm here and I'm up and I'm stuck, right? So it's like you always, like you get money, like that's not an issue, but you can't keep it. And then you look back and think back, you're always giving money, like you're giving everything away without making sure that your foundation is set, without making sure that all you've dotted all your I's and crossed all your T's when it comes to your own financial health is what I'm getting. So it's like there's a pattern, whatever it is that you feel like you're struggling with or having trouble with. If it's like something that is repeating, find out what is that common denominator. What is that pattern? And again, earlier I didn't say anything about the card, but I saw self-victimization. If you're wanting to level up your life, you cannot stay in this mentality of like always being a victim, because that is giving your power and authority over to other people, to other forces, to, whatever, however that goes. And all that's going to end up happening is you stay in, whatever that cycle is that's not healthy for you. So for birth, we have the card receive, right? And that birth, it really feels like, that it feels like it's that level up. It feels like it's that new path, or, something new and different, right? A new phase. And it's like you're meant to, like, you have to be open to receiving in this next phase. It's not always about you giving to other people, right? And, here we go with priorities at the bottom. Hi, Emmy. Making sure that you have your priorities in order. I'm being reminded of, again, what I said about, like, for example, if you're struggling with finances, right? Making sure that you have your priorities in order. Do not give away all that you have, all of your resources, and not taking stock and taking inventory of what it is that you still need. Because some of you guys have learned that when those tables are turned and you're the one who is in need, you're not receiving what it is that you need. All of a sudden, no one is able to help, no matter how many times you help them. So that doesn't mean that no, you can never give to anyone ever again. But what it does mean is that make sure that all of your business, everything that you need, is taken care of before you give to other people. I don't know who this is for, but I'm hearing something about 6 months. Some of you guys need to make sure that you're able, like you have in your bank account, something like 6 months worth of money to pay off your bills and your necessities, and even the things that you just really love to do for yourself. Make sure that you have all of that in order before you tell someone like, yeah, I can help you. Yeah, here you go. Make sure that all of your needs are being met. You need to have some type of threshold there with the priorities. And with this duality at the top, it's making me feel like if you're thinking that this makes you like not a good person, I don't know who's telling a story that like if you don't give like, your last dime to someone, that you're not a good person. That is absolutely a fallacy. That is not true. You give to people, like you give from a full cup. You don't give from an empty cup. Okay? Let's see what else we have. This might be about it. It almost feels like that's all. Let me try one more. And oh, geez, okay. And then we're going to move on to the next deck. So we did have one that popped out. Yeah, we have hard work right here. And at the bottom, we have security. And we have magician with creation. I'm getting the sense of like the more that you continue to work on whatever this is that you're working to manifest, continue to move forward with whatever this is that you're working on, like this is going to solidify your future. It really, like going back to that wealth, this is something that is meant for you. Yeah. Is there anything? Okay, so let's move on to the next deck. Okay. Oh, geez. Okay, that one was World Bridger and it flew to the floor. I'm not going to go and get that, but it almost feels like what I was talking about with that example of like always feeling like you have to be the spokesperson or the mouthpiece for other people. Like with that flying over there the way that it did, I'm really feeling like that's not like, you know, for this level up. You're having to learn like that's not necessarily your place. You help people that are willing to help themselves. But if they're coming to you for assistance and for help and they're not willing to put in the work themselves, that means like that's your cue to not get involved with whatever that is. And we have, you know, grounding at the bottom, which is making me think about yeah, I just feel like someone being triggered or out of their element over something that it may not even necessarily have anything to do with you. Yeah, we have deep stillness and reveal the true you. So I'm being guided to where it says awaken within, right? And then this stop hiding is what I'm being guided to. So if you are, you know, feeling like you can't necessarily be, you know, your true and authentic self, you're being guided to like take that mask off, stop hiding, and just be like, you know, proud of who it is, who you are, and what you have to offer, what you bring, right? Whatever gifts that you may have. And I'm going to see if we have one more card. If you have questions, you can go ahead and put it in the chat box. So remember, just one yes, no question. And make sure that it's something that is like for you, for your benefit, not about anyone else that does not directly involve you. Yeah, we have sacred space, and I'm being guided to where it says raise the vibe of your space, which fits with stick with the people who pull the magic out of you, not the madness. So this sacred space where you're meant to raise the vibe of this space, this has to do with your actual circle, your social circle, friends group, your, you know, at work, whatever, you know, circle of whatever you have going on there. But this is about making sure that you are situating yourself with people that are going to bring the best out of you, not the worst. Okay, so those are the messages that we have for you, Cancer, for our day 25, I believe, of the Level Up Your Life series. I'm going to go ahead and check the comments. Okay, let me see. Yeah, Chuck, I see your comment. Ask not what your friends can do for you, but what you can do for your friends. No, ask what your friends can do for you. Because if you have the habit of always doing for your friends, right? They expect that of you. They're going to always expect that of you. You're going to be the cleanup person. And when it's time for you to have something to be cleaned up, if you're never asking what they can do for you, then they're just going to make the assumption that you can handle it. Okay, Daniel Brooks, it says, should I go into business with my brother or should I find another job? So that is, I'm going to ask if you should go into business with your brother. Hi, Ann. How are you? Emmy, did I say hi to you? Okay, let's see. We're starting with Daniel. Should Daniel go into business with his brother? Okay, so I'm getting a no for going into business with your brother. Before I even asked, the question so that I could respond to you, I was being reminded of a reading that I did. I don't remember the name of it. I think it's called Get It in Writing. There's a video that I did where it was like, put it in writing or get it in writing. And it was really, that's what it was about. It was about working with, someone wanting to do business with a family member. And yeah, so you might want to check that reading out, get it in writing, put it in writing, something like that. Because it's not to say that the answer that I got was no, you should not start the business with your brother. But, if you decide that you're going to, anyway, because you have free will, you can do whatever it is that you want to do. You want to make sure that everything is in writing. Like there is no, oh, well, this is family, this is blood. So, like you don't have to state things, like things can just be understood. That's where you see family members ending up in court, fighting, never talking to one another ever again. But if you have some written contracts, not verbal contracts, have everything in writing, it may work out for you. But even that, some people will be offended, by just someone mentioning something like that. And to me, if you're going to be offended by something, like if you don't have any bad intentions, like it shouldn't be a problem with getting things in writing, in my opinion. But we have the King of Forces is what came out. And it just almost feels like someone is going to try to control or manipulate a certain situation. Like that's what it feels like. With at the bottom is the Willow. So I don't know if like someone is going to try to, I don't know, it feels kind of like a know-it-all type energy, so it's up to you, but like that's what I'm getting, like no. And it has something to do with like, I don't know, someone trying to take over something, manipulating, like with that forces, that's something to do with manipulation. Yeah. Okay, I think that means move on. Okay, so that was Daniel. Yeah, Chuck, I'm sorry to hear that about your father. And I know it may not be the answer that you want to hear, but your father honestly has the right to do what your father wants to do. And that's just the honest truth. I mean, if you want to intervene, like there are, like I would contact like a social worker or something like that, or contact a hospital. But in the end, if someone wants to do something, they're going to do it. And you also have to be careful with people that say that they're going to do certain things, because sometimes it's meant to manipulate you. That is a form of manipulation in some relationships, Because if that's really what you just want to do, most of the time you're just going to do it. If you are telling people, it's because you're trying to get usually some type of attention, or you're trying to manipulate things to go in your favor. So, but you don't have control over what another adult does. And, that may not feel good, but it's just the fact of the matter. You don't have control over him. Yeah, Chuck, thank you. You said you would avoid going into business with a family member. Just that. Okay, Anika, do you think I'm going to get a new job? So, Anika, I'm going to ask you, have you been applying for another job? Because no one's going to just drop well, it's possible, right? But I wouldn't sit there and just depend or think that someone's just going to drop the job off in my lap, right? Have you been actually applying for jobs? I mean, as long as you're putting in the work, you're putting in that effort, doing your part, making sure that you're staying positive and you're doing the work as far as like doing those applications, there's no reason why you would not get a job. I'm feeling the need to say, like, make sure that you're not pigeonholing yourself into like one arena. There might be some actual jobs out there that, like, I don't know if like you are underestimating yourself. Like maybe it has something on the job that like you feel like. Oh, okay. So that you like, if there are some jobs that you see and you feel like you don't have the qualifications because, like, I don't know, it says that they're looking for a particular thing that you don't have, apply for it anyway. A lot of people don't understand, like, a lot of those things are just preferences, and it's like you pigeonhole yourself into one category or one specific type of job, but there is like you have a lot of other options out there. So obviously, I'm gonna say when you start applying, yeah, you're gonna get a job. But I'm gonna ask the question for you and see if we need to pull a card. Okay, I'm already being guided to a deck that is okay. So the answer is yes, and but we both know that that's gonna be provided that you put in that work, right? Hi, Dark Fairy. How are you? Hi, Lauren. How are you? No, flip it. Okay. Okay, it says your card, it says stop texting, stop talking, stop checking on that person, just effing stop. Spend your time on someone worth it. Don't waste it on ridiculousness. So make sure that you are, like I said, you're actually taking the time to do those applications. Focus on what it is, like whatever your goal is, put your time and energy into that. So if you are kind of distracting yourself with other things, and that's why you hadn't quite gotten to it yet, your guidance is to, oh wow, it's I just looked at the back, it says seriously, just do it. Okay, so that's your guidance for that. Emmy, like it really, what other people think, and that's like one of the major messages that I like to like put out there. Like it doesn't matter what other people think, right? um you're always going to have people that think that you're, either strange or crazy or, fill in the blank. And then you're going to have other people that absolutely adore you and, think that your gifts are magnificent. Like that's just how it is. And you have to just kind of embrace the fact that those people who, and that was the message, where it says, stick with the people who pull the magic out of you, not the madness. So if that is your fear, that people are going to think that you're crazy when you're being yourself, that means that possibly you've kind of outgrown those people, but really make sure that you're giving them an opportunity, give them a chance, right? But you should be safe to be yourself. If someone makes you feel uncomfortable or makes you feel silly, making fun of you, whatever, not accepting, you know, every part of you the way that you are, that means that they're not, you're meant to get them out of your life, out of your world, or at least limit the time and attention that you are giving to them. Okay. Hi, Ann. How are you? Hi, Wendy. Okay, so Wendy, you say, will my grandchildren come live with me? And honestly, that is something that is completely like, do you want them to live with you? I mean, this feels like one of those questions where it's kind of like you get to decide what happens. I'm feeling like, you shouldn't feel obligated to take on, you know, additional tasks if you have a lot already going on. Feeling like, don't allow someone to guilt trip you. So the answer that I got for you, Wendy, is yes, they are. And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing for you. If it feels more like a burden, I mean, it's kind of like if that's not what you're looking for, then, why not look into other alternatives, right? I'm hearing like you've already done your time. You've raised your kids, right? But hello in Scotland. Suck it up, or shall I take an early retirement? See, so that's another like what that depends on you, right? It depends on like one of the cards that we saw earlier was about priorities, and what are you prioritizing, right now? Is it the additional money that you're going to get from the retirement, or is it your happiness for, the next 2 years? And there's no right or wrong answer when it comes to that. It is, what can you handle? And what you're looking for as it relates to like what type of retirement are you planning on having? But your answer that I'm getting is suck it up. And that's definitely not my answer, because I'd be like, quit. But the answer that I'm getting is suck it up. I think it might be that if you don't, you like, it's kind of like I'm hearing something about is the juice worth the squeeze? It's kind of like you might end up, the reason that you're being guided to suck it up is that I don't know if you're going to start getting in your head with all of the like woulda, coulda, shoulda's, or putting yourself down or feeling bad because you didn't just stick it through. Like, oh, it's just 2 years. It really feels like the answer of you need to just suck it up is like kind of like just in your best interest for you, because it's kind of like how you're going to react if you don't. Okay. So that's kind of what I'm getting from that. Okay. Yeah. I'm also getting like whatever it is, like I'm feeling something in my throat. Like, what are you unhappy about when it comes to your job? Is there not something that you can speak up about for yourself? Or, like have a conversation, like if you have a supervisor or something, like, is there someone that you can have a conversation with to say, look, I'm tired. These are some things that would really help me. Like, I just want to do my 2 years. I'm going to do my time and I'm out. And, these are some asks, right? The worst that you're going to get is the answer of no. Like, or you might get, if you go in with a list and you have 10 things on your list that you would like to be different, but they only agree to 5 of them. Well, that's 5 things that, you wouldn't have had otherwise if you didn't speak up whatsoever. So there's also something about like you actually can control, how those last 2 years are for you. Yeah. Okay, let me see. I know I'm going slow, you guys. Dark Fairy, I said hello. Lauren, I said hello. It's fitness training. Okay, Lauren, is fitness training the right course of action for my purpose? And I've already heard an answer, but I'm gonna double check because that's just what I like to do. So Lauren, okay, so what I heard was hell yeah, or hell F yeah. Like, I don't know where that's coming from, but in the answer that I actually got, when I tuned in, the answer is still yes. And I heard again, hell yeah. So I don't know, that must be really important to whatever this is that you're doing, but the answer is heck yeah. Okay. Do we need to pull anything for that? Okay, let me see. I'm being guided for this one to pull one. Okay, yeah, Wendy. So not a burden, but yes, things are depending on you. And like, so if it's not a burden and you're being honest, like if you're being honest that, it's not a burden, I almost feel like, are there any, like, I don't know, something about a support system, making sure that you also have a support system, right? Okay, yeah, you said you can't see that far, just need to prepare, yeah. So there's something about getting a support system in order. Like, don't think that everything has to just be all about you or all in your hands, right? Oh, geez. Lauren, I'm trying to get you a card. I don't want to. Let me see what that. That's the card that I didn't get, but wealth. So Lauren, that's something definitely that you're meant to incorporate for your purpose. It's something with your fitness training. That one went to the floor, so let me see what else. Yeah, we have the Magician creation. There's something that you're meant to build, and it does definitely relate to, yeah, we have adventure at the bottom, and we have play, have fun with it. So it's kind of like you are definitely being encouraged to go out on this adventure, creating or building whatever this is that like, I feel like you already have like certain ideas as it relates to this, and you're being guided to just kind of have fun with it. Okay. Thank you, Dark Fairy. You guys, yes, please make sure that you hit the like button. Also, subscribe if you have not already. I'm giving away 6 free readings once we get to 500 subscribers. Brandon, if you like, you just ask a yes, no question. So we've already done the reading, the general reading, the collective reading on, how to level up your life, or, advice or feedback for that. So all you have to do, like if you have a question that you want me to ask, to answer, you just put it in the chat box, and it has to be a yes, no question. Okay. You're welcome, Anika. Exactly, Dark Fairy. Yeah. Wow. I mean, and congratulations for, you know, um, 34 years. That's awesome. You can do it. Okay. You can do it. I just, like I said, it feels like Cecil, like it's about making sure that you, seeing that commercial. You remember that Snickers commercial where it says no regrets, but basically like making sure it's kind of like, and it had that, error in it. Like it feels like if you don't, you're going to be beating yourself up. Like you're going to feel like you made a mistake, like you're going to have some type of regrets. And that's the only reason why. Okay. You're welcome, Lauren. You're welcome, Brandon. And I know I might be a little bit weird, Wendy, but I'm a really big, like, for this phase of my life, like I'm all about like, okay, we'll put it, it needs to be in writing. So something like, make sure that you're getting some things in writing, but also I'm getting the sense of like, um, not giving any slack, like not cutting any slack for like other people, like when it's their time to provide whatever type of assistance or support that you guys have agreed to, they need to follow through with it. Yeah, you need to speak up about it. You need to, like, I don't know, yeah, something with the throat. Make sure that you're speaking up about it immediately, because it's not to say that you can't handle it. That's not what it's about. It's about making sure that, you are also staying, completely healthy mentally, physically, and all of that. Making sure that, things are, in your best interest as well. Because, even still, like if you're not taking care of yourself, right? And no one is, if other people are not, doing their end of the bargain, that stress and strain, like letting that just kind of fall on you, leads to other issues, right? And then if you have issues, then who's going to take care of the kids? That, that type of a thing. Okay. So just make sure whatever it is that they promised, if they've if they've been texting it, okay, good, that's fine. I would save those forever. But also I'm getting the sense of like when when the time comes for them to, to move forward with their end of the bargain, do not let off. Like don't give them a free pass ever, ever. Okay. And it's just because, like, not that they're going to do, like, not that it's intentional, but, sometimes people just kind of, yeah. Okay, you guys, so that looks like the end of our question. So I'm going to go ahead and end it there. Thank you guys for being here. I smell my food. I hope I didn't overcook it. It was on low simmer, but I'm I'm going to go ahead and do that. So again, you guys, make sure that you hit the thumbs up. Also, subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. Once we get to 500, I'm giving away 6 free readings. So you, all you have to do, if you're commenting, I take your name from the comments and I enter you into the giveaway. So you definitely don't want to miss out on that. We're on day 25. So the last day for the 30-day series, where the focus is just on leveling up your life. The last day is going to be on Friday. And then we'll take, a break from just a theme-based readings, and we won't have the yes no questions. So yeah, you just hit the thumbs up, Brandon. Okay, good, Wendy. You're very welcome. Good night, Dark Fairy. Okay, so you guys have a beautiful, okay, good. Thank you, Brandon. All right, you guys have a wonderful day, and I love you. Bye now. Thanks for being here.